Hello beautiful dragons, I am your host Heather, and welcome to an exploration of the Irish representation in Nancy Drew, The Haunting of Castle Malloy. If you haven't yet, I have been playing Nancy Drew, The Haunting of Castle Malloy over on Game Time with Dragons, so go check that out so you have a bit of context in regards to what I'm talking about. So The Haunting of Castle Malloy takes place at, obviously, Castle Malloy. That is somewhere near Dublin, I believe. At least, that's what I think when in regards to the case file. At the very least, Nancy lands in Dublin and then drives to the location. So, not too far from Castle Malloy is Baylor? I think that's how you pronounce it, Baylor. Either a small town or village is unclear at this time, given that the only place you can go there is the inn. So we know that it at least has an inn. So, we're in Ireland, we're talking about representation, let's talk about the Irish characters. I would love to, except for one upsetting detail. There are only 2 Irish characters, and one of them is just a voice that teaches you how to do the mini-games.
Each ticket will have no more than 2 drinks on it, and to save time, I draw little pictures instead of writing out their names.
How is a game that is set in Ireland lacking in Irish representation? You are in the country. Why are there only 2 characters? Unless you want to count Irish heritage.
You see, until my grandpapa died and left me this place, not only did I have no idea that this castle existed, but I had no idea my real name was not Mallory, but Malloy.
And for our purposes, we're not. Irish heritage and Irish people with the Irish accent are 2 completely different things. So our only physical Irish character that we see is Donal Delaney, the caretaker for Castle Malloy. He is a character, let's say that. Mr. Delaney shows 2 different sides of himself. When content and happy, he'll have a pleasant conversation. If you're English, however, or he's in a mood, he plays the typical grumpy old man stereotype. He gets Nancy to do a load of chores before he'll help.
I'll do no talking till I get me crow's nest, and there's the sorry truth of the matter. But now, were some spry and spunky lass to lend poor Seamus a hand by taking over the mixing for a while, that would surely speed the plough.
Why? Why is that important? Is that just so the player has these mini-games to do? Because it seems to be impeding the investigation, which he obviously doesn't want an answer to because it's just an Englishman, and he believes that they've been taken. It's just a bit annoying. But the real nail in the coffin for Donal's representation is the way the other characters react to his beliefs. Donal believes in Irish folklores and mythologies. That's fine, he's not harming anyone. Let him believe what he wants to believe.
Well, what happened to him is this. The Sidhe took him. The good people whisked him straight off to their world, they did.
The way everyone reacts and treats his belief is a little disrespectful.
What about the caretaker?
Mr. Delaney, true blue Irishman that he is, thinks I heard a banshee.
You don't believe him, do you?
Of course not. It sure is a creepy sound, though.
For which there's a logical explanation, I guarantee it.
They label him a true blue Irishman. It's implied because of how he freely expresses these beliefs. This gives the impression that all Irish people, at least the true Irish people, believe in similar things. Something which isn't true. Yes, some do and some don't, like with most beliefs. The last straw, even though I already said the nail in the coffin, the last straw is that all the characters labelled Donal as crazy.
When we realized Matt was gone, straight away Donal claimed Matt had been kidnapped by fairies. Which is, of course, utterly ridiculous.
Just because he believes that the Sidhe, fae, fairies, good people, whatever you want to call them, are real, does not make him crazy. Period. The lack of Irish representation with characters, the personality of the one character, and how the rest of the cast respond to him is not good representation. which is really, really sad, because there is so little Irish representation in games. There is so little good Irish representation in games. Now, looking at the location, it doesn't change the opinion on how well the Irish representation is in this game. It's a castle. It could be any castle. That castle could be anywhere, and it wouldn't matter. There is nothing special about that castle that screams Ireland, Irish heritage. The other location we have is the Screaming Banshee Inn, which appears to be modelled after an Irish pub. Shame it just resembles any other pub. It's also derelict. There are only 2 or 3 other people there, unlike any other pub given that time of day. This is not a lively Irish pub. This is not a lively pub in general. At the time of day it's implied that this is, or that you can gather that this is, a pub like that would be lively. Even if it is a small village, there would be more people there. But there aren't. Finally, the Irish mythology / folklore is very minimal. Based on reviews, there was an expectation on how much it would be covered, and that expectation simply wasn't met. The only book that can be read with information pertaining to that covers ancient Irish writing and the festivals the Celtics celebrated. Any other tidbits are only mentioned by Donal. In conclusion, Nancy Drew, The Haunting of Castle Malloy fails to add to the very, very small pool of good Irish representation in video games. These Nancy Drew games are set in various locations all over the world, and sometimes they can fail to completely immerse the player in that country's culture, a huge missed opportunity, and that is the case with The Haunting of Castle Malloy. It does not capture Ireland. There are many countries, dialects, accents, cultures, so many things that are underrepresented in video games, across all media, in fact. Sadly, in a lot of cases, the minimal representation isn't good representation. Ireland is included. There is a lacking in Irish characters. I really hope this changes in the future. I hope this disappointing news hasn't ruined everyone's St. Patrick's Day. I think I'm going to immerse myself in Irish folklore to fill the void of disappointment that I'm currently dwelling in. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Subscribe to join the party, booty slap that like button with consent, and leave your comments in the dungeons below. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Love and light.